Hey guys, admin here with a review it up video for you. In today's review video, I'm going to cheat a little bit because this products, well, there are two products. These products are not really up for retail sale, so they're mainly just only going to be for resellers like eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, so on and so forth. I just had to review them and just share my thoughts and opinions on these, which are the Rugrats Cynthia dolls. Now, Nickelodeon has done a mysterious type of collectible items subscription boxes that's sent out, I believe, every season, like the spring, summer, winter, and fall. And on certain occasions, they would put out a Cynthia doll in their boxes. Now, I'm not sure exactly if it's for every Nick box subscription size, because there are sizes to the subscription boxes. I believe there is a small, medium, and large. I did a little bit of research on it, but it was a little bit confusing just because they wouldn't say exactly much of prices and I didn't give me much options. So I'm not sure if I went on the right site, but I have seen a couple of review videos of the Nick box and it looks like the Cynthia doll will come in every large box. However, if they decide to put them out, Nickelodeon. For the first Nick box that they put out, they have the Cynthia doll, which is the OG Cynthia from Rugrats. And recently, and I believe it would be this year's in 2021 spring box or summer, I believe it might be summer, which was like a jungle themed type of box. We have here the 7 voyages of Cynthia. Now, for the Nick boxes, the large box retails for about $149.99, if not around that ballpoint of a price for a Nick box that is large, that would contain a Cynthia doll if possible. And I could go on that route to just go ahead and subscribe to it and just hope for the best that each box going forward would have a Cynthia doll. However, they are subscription boxes, so it's going to be mix and match products from different Nickelodeon shows, movies, all that. And I just honestly don't want to risk it just subscribing to it in hopes of getting a Cynthia doll, just because for me a lot of products that are in the box, stuff that I honestly wouldn't like. I know everything looks very cool with details and all that good stuff, but for me, like, there's some, like, they would put out like coffee mugs, necklaces, keychains, and all this other stuff that I don't think I would be able to use. I don't even want to use. Yes, it looks cool, it looks great for fans and all, but for me, I am just a basic person that likes a plain coffee mug, and I don't really have much keychains other than just my name on a keychain and other stuff. So for me, I just wouldn't subscribe to a box for me personally. But I would if they do a whole Cynthia box thing. I mean, come on, we get dolls, which is just amazing. I remember watching the show when I was a kid, and I just love Rugrats. I've seen all the episodes. I love the movies that they came out with. The Rugrats movie, Rugrats in Paris, Rugrats Go Wild. I remember seeing each of them in the theaters and also having it in a VHS tape. It's just a great series overall. And plus, now that we have Paramount Plus making the Rugrats reboot, recreation, if you will, in 3D animation. And it's just, I've already binge watched because right now there's like 5 episodes came out, and I think it looks really cute. It looks really fun. It's great to watch with your kids. Obviously, for those parents that grew up with the original Rugrats in the 90s, now having their own kids, I think it's really great to watch. Just my opinion. So when I saw this doll first, because obviously this one came out first before the second doll, I was just floored. I didn't think Nickelodeon would ever make a Cynthia doll, which I'm surprised they didn't, since they did make like little action figures, plushies, things like that for the Rugrats characters like Tommy, Chucky, Angelica, and all that characters. And to know that they never made a Cynthia doll, like, That was just a huge missed opportunity since Cynthia is literally like the Barbie in the world of Rugrats. So to see that they didn't even do anything for Cynthia back then, just a really big missed opportunity. But I'm glad we have her now. She is so iconic. I love Cynthia on the show. I always wanted my own Cynthia doll growing up. I just thought it was just amazingly awesome. The second doll that came out recently in 2021, I would say it would be the summer box of the Nick box. It's the 7 Voyages of Cynthia. So now we're seeing they're doing different looks that Cynthia has pulled off throughout the whole series of Rugrats. In terms of the boxes, I will say they just look exactly the same sizing, everything, even from the details of like the scribbles, which is the iconic Nick Rugrats scribbles that they always do in the credits and the theme song and everything from that, the title episodes. And on the back of the box just gives the website of the Nick box. Obviously it's created by Klasky, the year that it came out, and also just the address, made in China, and all that jazz. I think it's really cute that they added Angelica's picture to this, since obviously we associate Cynthia with Angelica. So I thought it was really cute that they added her picture to it. I honestly would have liked to have seen the whole Cynthia themed box, since we kind of did get a glimpse of what Cynthia looks like in a box as all new, because you swear she's gonna look like this with this type of hair. Like no. We saw in All Grown Up, which is the episode Saving Cynthia, where Angelica threw everything out that is pre-13 and realized she accidentally threw away Cynthia. And we saw that her mom felt so bad for throwing it out that she decided to give Angelica an original Cynthia doll, which turns out to be a fake. Obviously, spoiler alert. So, we actually did get a good look at what Cynthia looks like with her full head of hair. We saw she had a couple of accessories, and as well in her full-on pink box. Which I would have liked for this to have been the theme of the Cynthia box, but I do, overall, I mean, it's a subscription box, so everything in it is not going to have exactly full-on details, so I understand that. Plus, I mean, we only care about the dolls. So let me go ahead and unbox these two for a closer look. Just in case a live unboxing, this is literally just a whole situation here where the doll itself is just hanged on by a wire. So you can just easily just pull the doll out, and she is freed. So here we have the OG Cynthia girl here. Love how she turned out. The face that she is serving us, iconic. I love her eyes. I just love her lips. The thin eyebrows, even to the hair, like obviously out of the way, the hair is all molded on. Even on the back of her head, like look at those look at those hair roots that are just completely empty, nothing coming out. Angelica, what did you do to her? She's wearing her iconic OG dress here with a printed on belt, that it all velcros in the back. And obviously, no shoes. This Cynthia doll can rotate at the head, side to side, all around 360. With her arms, you can go forward and then backward, and then on to the side here. Side. Then to the legs, we see that she has very, very thin legs, which can go forward and backward. And it also has a bend and snap knee, which is not really much of a difference compared to how it was, in my opinion. Like if you put them together, it's not like an exact difference. Last but not least, we have the second Cynthia doll, which is the 7 Voyages of Cynthia. in this episode where Angelica plays wedding for Cynthia. However, Tommy and Chucky decided they needed a captain for a little boat that they created out of popsicle sticks and decided to go ahead and use Cynthia, not knowing the water's gonna take her all the way down to the sewer and just get completely lost and have her own voyage. Luckily, Spike found her and brought her back home and looking like a hot mess. Here we have Cynthia and her full-on details of the episode, all from like the sewage, little chunks in her head. I can't. Full-on smudgedness going on around her body, even to the hair here. Then from the dress overall, I mean, this dress was a white and pink wedding dress, and for it to have looked like this now, going through the sewers, like, ugh. Again, all smudges, all even around her body. Like, can you believe? The details, little details like this, like I just love that they added to the Cynthia doll. For this Cynthia, it is a lot of differences with the OG Cynthia. Like, for example, they are not at the same height. This one here is a little bit taller. The head, she can go all around. You can see her chin is way out, so she can't exactly just look all the same way. Her head, if I could put her to the back, she's looking completely up in the air. Here, see her arms, it can only go from forward and backward. It cannot stretch out to the side at all. Oh, and to the legs, it can only go forward and backward. There is no bend and snap option for this. It's just a molded on leg. I kind of wish that this Cynthia though, the Voyage Cynthia, would have had the same exact doll form as the first Cynthia doll, just because they keep all the dolls more accurate. Since I'm sure they're gonna do more Cynthia dolls, I would have liked for all of them the same consistency, but just different looks. Overall, just for the details for the second doll, I mean, they got it down right. I didn't even think they would add these little, this little, I don't even know what it is. It's from the sewers, girl. This details on her head, like, I can't get over it. Even like the smudges going all around her body, and it is going all around her body. All of this like gunk just going all around. It's just, it's a mess, obviously, but in a beautiful way of details from the show. In comparison, since she is the Barbie of Rugrats, we are going to compare a basic 5 points of articulation Barbie girl. This one I did a recent video on of the Barbie color reveal peel mermaid doll. Comparison, obviously the height difference is major, and as well I would have loved for it to have been a little maybe rooted hair. I'm not sure, I don't think so, just because maybe we might ruin it or do something. I don't know. I didn't think much about the hair. I would have loved for it to have been the height of an actual Barbie doll, just because we see on the show that Cynthia she is a pretty tall doll. She's pretty tall. There's not really much to report on these two dolls. I mean, the box is just how it is. It's just plain and simple to keep the dolls intact. Because we got a second Cynthia doll, I would think they would do other looks of Cynthia that she has done for Rugrats. And I just want to go ahead and look through them and see which dolls that they could possibly come out with. Mind you, I do want Nickelodeon to do a doll of every Cynthia look out there. I'm not sure if I got every Cynthia look down. I mean, I'm not going to binge watch the entire Rugrats series to find out, because there's a lot of episodes, and from what I've seen, she mainly just looks like this. So, in other looks of Cynthia, I mean, let me know in the comments down below if I missed any, but here are my looks that I have seen, because there is a video out there on YouTube that Rugrats has done of like a compilation of Cynthia, so that's where I'm getting the looks from, and also other looks that I remembered from the movies in comparison. So first things first, for the 7 voyages of Cynthia, I would love for them to do the first version that Cynthia was in, her white wedding dress with the pink details. It looks like from the doll all of the black details would just be pink, and then the green would be white. Also, she would need a flower crown, pink shoes, and as well a bouquet of sunflowers. I'm not sure if they would even pull this off, but this really wasn't like the OG look of Cynthia. We did actually see Cynthia in the Grand Canyon episode, which is part of the first season, the first couple episodes of Rugrats, and she is seen wearing a pink and a fuchsia type dress. So instead of the orange and red, it was a dark pink and a light pink. And then for the belt, it was just mainly green colors. And instead of a red lip, she is wearing a pink lip. And for this version of Cynthia as well, she is not wearing shoes. Another Cynthia look is this swimsuit slash water ski Cynthia. She is just living her best life in the ocean until she gets eaten by a fish. She's wearing a pink life preserver and also a one-piece bathing suit that looks like two tones of blue, as well as pink long water skis. Later seasons of Rugrats, we do see that Angelica got the new teen version Cynthia, where she is looking such early 2000s teenager. Like, okay. I love the fact that she has a CD player with the green headphones, and her hair is just completely, I'm not sure that's what Angelica did or that's how the teen Cynthia doll looks like, because it looks to me like one part of her hair is just literally how Cynthia is made, and then the rest is just like a bob look. And she is holding a cell phone with an antenna. Love that. I doubt they're gonna do this detail, but this Cynthia actually talks when you pull the string. So that would be really cool for Nick to do that for the Cynthia doll. But again, I think they just wouldn't, just because it's a subscription box. So I'm sure they're not gonna add that much details to it. So that's what the looks I've seen from the Rugrats series. And now I'm going to go on to the movies. So from the first Rugrats movie, we see Cynthia in a completely 360 look, which I'm not hating at all. I think it's just a surprise that they changed her. The Rugrats movie is completely different. However, I'm vibing with this one. I'm not sure the inspiration was like the early 2000s pop stars or like TV stars, because this Cynthia is giving me that type of a feel. She is not wearing a belt, but she is wearing pink shoes. Now in the Rugrats Goes to Paris movie, we don't see much of Cynthia. We only see her in one clip where Angelica is packing to go and she's talking to Susie about the trip. We see Angelica throw Cynthia in her Cynthia luggage suitcase wardrobe thing, which again, Angelica to have all this stuff for Cynthia, and yes, Cynthia looks exactly the same in every episode. I mean, okay. The Cynthia doll that Angelica is using looks exactly the same from the Rugrats movie, so there's not really much of a difference there compared to those two movies. Now for the last Rugrats movie, which is Rugrats Go Wild, which is a crossover with Rugrats and the Wild Thornberrys, we do see Cynthia have a complete look. It looks to me like Cynthia is still the same as the OG. However, she's just wearing a wig, a new dress, and a boa, and accessories as well. She's wearing bracelets, shoes, as a microphone, and a piano and spotlight. Honest to God, I live for this Cynthia look. Like, I think she looks so perfection. I love her. I'm not sure what the inspiration was for this look of Cynthia. I mean, obviously she is a pop star slash singer Cynthia. I'm not sure if she is supposed to be a jazz singer, because she does come with a piano, giving me that vibe. I love the overall look of this doll. Honestly, I would love for them to do the piano, just because Cynthia is mainly on it. So not mainly on it, just like literally in the beginning of the movie. This look is just serving. I love this look of Cynthia. I don't remember this look at all since I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but just seeing it now through YouTube, like I live for this look of Cynthia. That is my overall review of these two Cynthia dolls. I'm not sure whether or not to recommend this to purchase, just because obviously they are only going to be sold on reseller websites. So the pricing for these dolls can go about over $100. I've seen them for $200, $300, more than that, and it's crazy, these prices. But then again, they're not made for retailers, so it's very limited of Cynthia dolls that are out there. So be that as it may, I am a big Rugrats fan, thus I saved my own coin in order to purchase the doll. So that was just on my own accord. But again, as well, I did send out as many offers as I can to just not pay those prices, because they're insane. And thankfully, I found sellers that accepted my offers, therefore I was able to get Cynthia dolls. But I will say this, if you are a fan of Rugrats, and if you do love Cynthia as much as I do, I would say go for it, but obviously don't pay those prices. Like, save your coin, take some time, and don't give in to those high-end prices. Like, it's not it. I would go for it if they had like the same articulation as the 5 points from Barbie, but they just don't. Like, they don't. Like, the quality in this is obviously rushed. It's somewhat cheap, if you will. Like, the plastic here is very hollow. This version is not even the exact same as the first one. So in terms of the pricing points, like overall higher than 100, I wouldn't pay that. I didn't pay that, so I would recommend you don't. But take that as you will, and we will leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below which one of these two is your favorite, what other looks of Rugrats that I missed. Also, what Cynthia look do you want Nick Box to do for the next doll of Cynthia? Don't forget to check out all the other videos that I have on the Celebritants YouTube channel. Check out Celebritants on all social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.